I'm Maresa von Stockert, artistic director of Tilted Productions. Tilted Productions is a national portfolio organisation funded by the Arts Council England and is based in the UK. My work combines contemporary dance, theatre and most recently also contemporary circus. In general, I'm interested in creating illusionary worlds that are inspired by human themes, social, environmental or political topics. Generally, I'm very interested in the physical dialogue between bodies and objects. Specific to Fragile, these objects will be a trampoline, two tight wires, and the architectural set they are embedded into. The set resembles a flat roof on top of a building. Just imagine a concrete roof where someone has created a simple garden with a few plants and pots and some grass. One layer of the piece will zoom in on the human activity taking place in this garden. It will look at the lives of those who visit the rooftop. For example, for some characters in the piece, this rooftop may resemble a place where they can escape reality. Others may see it as a forbidden space. For one person, it may be an oasis, for another, a foreign world of discomfort and bewilderment. There's also another layer to the piece, which looks at the transformation of the garden itself. I'm interested in the deconstruction of the space, which carries various meanings within the context of this garden and the unfolding relationships within it. In my mind, dance and circus artists aren't that different. They both use their bodies like virtuosic instruments. Playing with this virtuosity within a theatrical context is what excites me. The different movement vocabularies and collaborative inputs of tight-wire artists, trampolinists, dancers and a clown, they all expand the possibilities of my choreographic and theatrical language in a very exciting way. I'm not so interested in physical tricks, but in how the different movement vocabularies can convey meaning in a theatrical sense. In my mind, Fragile is a piece that asks to be performed outside for various reasons. A Fragile's architectural set creates the illusion of the performance happening on top of a roof of a subsided house. I'm interested in seeing how this sits outside amongst other buildings, how it tells a story in itself, makes one curious to what happened to this building, but also how the perception changes in different locations. The limited space available to move inside the rooms of this house is very much in opposition to the freedom of moving on its flat roof, surrounded by skies, by an outside environment. This opposition is used theatrically and is very important to me. What I particularly like about creating work for a public space is that it is usually presented for free and therefore accessible to everybody. There will be many spectators seeing Fragile that would never come to watch this show in a theatre. I like seeing and hearing people's immediate reactions in the street. We, the artists, are invited into the spectator space rather than the spectator coming to the theatre, the space more familiar to the artist. There are less formalities and boundaries, more honest feedback. One can play more with the audience rather than just for an audience. The Zeppa network has been very helpful for us. Through Zeppa, Tilted's work was shown at Vivacité Festival in Sotteville and Out There Festival in Great Yarmouth. Both festivals were proactive in inviting international programmers to see the work. It meant that Tilted's work Seesaw, for example, toured for another year to many French and Dutch festivals as a direct consequence. Through Zeppa, a strong ongoing relationship between Tilted Productions and Atelier 231 has been established. It resulted in artistic development opportunities, workshop programs, performances, not only at Vivacité, but also at the Fish and Chips Festival. And of course, Atelier 231 is one of the main co-producers of Fragile, providing vital resources, rehearsal space, and financial support. Without the Zeppa network and Atelier 231, Tilted's new work, Fragile, would simply not be possible to create. First, Jeremy Cox, Tilted's production manager, arrived at Atelier 231 last December. In a 3-week residency, he developed and constructed various elements of the set. Atelier 231 introduced us to Fabrice Desperrois, scenographer and artistic director of Les Plastiqueurs. Fabrice has done an amazing job transforming steel decks into a rooftop. He painted the set, and lots of the rooftop details have been designed by him and created in collaboration with Jeremy. Mid-January, the dance and circus artists arrived, and we had our first 4 weeks of rehearsal at Atelier. We started working with the set, learning about how it functions. Its features as well as challenges were discovered. It is the first time this group of artists is collaborating, and living on site and working together for 4 weeks intensively was a very important first step in the creation of Fragile. There are no costumes yet. There is no chronological order regarding the scenes we show. I wouldn't even call them scenes. What we will show are first sparks of ideas, beginnings of potential scenes, theatrical experiments, tryouts and explorations of how dancers and circus artists can together work with the set and the circus equipment.